Hi there, my name is Dr. Sarah Wooten, and I am a small animal veterinarian. And I am here today to talk to you about why cats won't eat. In fact, we're going to cover 10 reasons why cats won't eat and what to do when your cat won't eat. So let's get into it. One reason your cat may not be eating is due to kidney problems. So unfortunately, in older kitties, and I'm talking cats age 7 and older, kidney problems, kidney disease is a common issue. As vets, we still don't entirely understand why this happens. We have several working theories, but cats will stop eating when they have kidney disease because it makes them feel nauseous. What happens is their kidneys stop filtering toxins out of the bloodstream. Those toxins build up, boom, cat feels sick. So it could be kidney disease. Cats that have kidney disease and are not eating will typically still drink water unless they're very, very, very sick. And they'll drink lots of water and they will pee a lot. They will make lakes in their litter box. So if you're noticing more drinking and peeing and not eating very much, could be kidney disease. Number 2, one reason your cat might not be eating is due to gastrointestinal problems. So cats, just like humans, can get gastrointestinal problems. They can get just an enteritis, which means inflammation of the gut because of something they ate. They can have parasites, intestinal parasites like hookworms, roundworms, whipworms. Those can make them feel nauseous as well. They could have an inflammatory condition. Inflammatory bowel disease is something we see in cats. They could have a small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So they could have an imbalance in their gut bacteria, or they could have a different infection, or they could have an obstruction, or they could have cancer. There's a lot of things. They could also get ulcers, right? There's a lot of things that can affect the gut of a cat. And when the gut of a cat is impacted, then that cat will not eat. Typically, these conditions are accompanied with vomiting and or diarrhea. Another reason why your cat may not be eating is because they have been recently vaccinated or they are on a medication that makes them feel sick. So vaccination engages the immune system. The way vaccines work in veterinary medicine is they take a tiny piece of the virus and they put it in there, and then all of the immune system gets woken up and immobilized, goes, recognizes the virus, and makes antibodies to it. So great, right? The only problem is while this is happening, it can make a cat feel sick. So if your cat has recently been vaccinated and is not eating, that could be the cause. These cats also tend to be more tired and they can sometimes have a fever as well. Also, if your cat is on a medication, that could also cause your cat not to want to eat because the medication is not very fun to take, or the medication is stressing them out, or the medication is making them feel nauseous. One type of medication that comes to mind that can cause this in cats is antibiotics, especially Clavamox, tends to just tear them up. So that could also be a reason why your cat is not eating. These tend to resolve fairly quickly on their own. With the medication, they tend to start eating once you stop the medication again. And for the vaccination, it tends to get better in a day or two. Another reason why cats don't want to eat is because they are stressed, anxious, or depressed. Did you know your cat could get depressed? It's true. If you leave your cat alone for long periods of time, or maybe your cat has lost a recent friend, as in another cat or a dog, that can actually cause your cat to be depressed enough to not want to eat. Also, anxiety or change of any kind can cause them to turn their noses up because they're just too stressed to eat. Also, if they're sick from something else, they could be stressed from that, right? Well, a very common stress-related disorder in cats is feline interstitial cystitis. You like all those big medical words? All that means is it's inflammation in the bladder, and that can cause a cat to not want to eat. So if your cat is anxious, stressed, or depressed, could be a reason that your cat is not eating. Another common reason that cats stop eating or won't eat is because you've changed their food. Cats just don't like change. They're very much like humans in that way, but they just don't like it when their food is changed, when their stuff is moved, when you move your furniture, when you have visitors, if you introduce new animals to the house, if you move and take them with you. I mean, there's lots of things, right? So in this particular situation, if you change their food, they may not like it because it tastes different. The texture is different. The shape is different. They've done studies on cats that show that cats can develop very strong food preferences, even for shapes. Some cats prefer stars, some triangles, some circles. Isn't that interesting? So it could be the fact that you changed the food or you're trying to change the food. Maybe you have to change the food. Maybe your cat has a medical condition that requires special food. So if this is the case, you're going to want to change the food very slowly. And I'm talking over a week. And you start with mostly the old food, and then you mix in a tiny bit of the new food. And the next day, maybe a little bit more of the new food and a little bit less of the old food. And then this way you can trick your cat into accepting a new diet. Another reason why older cats may not eat as much is because their metabolism has slowed down. Just like people, cats, when they get older, their metabolism tends to just slow down. So they may not eat as much as they used to. So in those cases, there's not much to be worried about as long as your cat is still eating. If your cat has a drastic drop in food consumption, that is the time to talk to your veterinarian. Or if you notice that your cat is losing weight over time, talk to your veterinarian. Another reason that cats may not be eating is a condition called pancreatitis. So the pancreas is an organ that is part of the gastrointestinal system and also part of the endocrine system. And it does several different important things. It makes digestive enzymes to digest the food, and it also makes insulin to move blood sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it needs to be. Sometimes the pancreas can get really pissed off. That's my funny way of saying it can become very inflamed. And that is a very painful, very nausea-inducing condition. And so it can cause a cat to stop eating. These cats typically vomit. They often have a fever. They may have diarrhea, and they definitely don't want to eat. So one other reason why your cat might not be eating. A very common reason why cats stop eating is dental disease. So cats have teeth, right? And they are as suspect to dental disease as humans are. And in fact, they not only can get gingivitis, but they can also get another condition that's similar to human cavities, but it's not due to sugar or not brushing. We don't know what causes this condition, but it's called, it has several names, but the one that I'm most familiar with is FORL, feline odontic resorptive lesion. FORLs are when the enamel gets worn away on the teeth and it creates cavities. And those, when they start to expose the nerve, are painful. So if your cat suddenly stops eating, it could be a dental issue. Another common problem in cats is, it's not common, but I see it enough, is feline stomatitis and fasciitis. Oh, so many big words. But basically, it's just really, really, really inflamed, angry gums. And in that condition, the cat's immune system actually develops an adverse reaction to its own teeth. Don't tell me why, I don't know, and is big and inflamed. And the only cure is to remove all the teeth. Yeah, it's pretty intense. So could be dental issues that are causing your cat not to eat. Signs that it could be a dental issue: bad breath, dropping food out of their mouth, only chewing on one side, only eating soft food, right? Those are signs that it could be a dental issue. And the last reason why your cat may not be eating is maybe your cat is full. So we can often become helicopter parents when we're watching our cats, right? We're like watching them and seeing their bowel movements and their actions and their energy and their food intake and everything. And sometimes we watch them a little too much, right? And if you have multiple cats, you could have a cat that's eating from somebody else's food bowl. If you have an outdoor cat, that cat might be eating someplace else, right? So just the cat could just be full. Always take your cat to the veterinarian. But in general, if a cat's not eating because they're full, these cats tend to look healthy. No issues, right? Everything else I've talked to you about to this point, there's been other signs associated with it. But a cat that's just full just looks normal and healthy. So this is a really important topic, and I'm so glad that we're covering it in this video, because cats cannot go a long time without eating without becoming very, very sick. They have a very interesting physiology. It doesn't make sense to me, but here is how it goes. If a cat doesn't eat for more than, if they're not eating after 4 to 5 days, they can develop a condition called hepatic lipidosis, which is just my fancy doctor way of saying fatty liver syndrome. Basically, the fat fills up the liver becomes filled up with fat, and then the liver can't do its job. So these cats are feeling sick from something else. They stop eating because of that. 5 days later, now they have another problem. And these cats, they have vomiting, they have diarrhea, they turn yellow because they have jaundice. Jaundice is a consequence of liver disease. And so it's really, 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 really important to contact your vet if your cat has gone more than a day or two without eating, because once they've developed this hepatic lipidosis, it's hard to help them come back from that. And it can take weeks of treatment. Not only weeks of treatment, but you may end up having to have a tube placed in their stomach or through their nose so that you can feed them, because they're not going to want to eat because they feel nauseous, right? So bottom line, my friends, don't want to scare you, but I do want to let you know, bottom line, if there's one takeaway, if it's been more than 2 days and your cat hasn't eaten, call the vet. Your vet will also have other ways to help you get your cat to start eating again. There's lots of things that you can do, and maybe we'll cover that in another video. But there you have it. That is the top 10 reasons why a cat may not eat. Why cat not eat, right? Well, now you know. So if you have any other topics that you would love for me to cover, or if you have feedback about this video, you can pop it in the comment section of the video. You can also head on over to the All About Cats forum and you can engage there. There's lots of ways for you to engage with this community. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I will see everybody again soon.